You know, when Parker Griffin decided to abandon the Democrat Party, my phone began to ring quite often. As I was visiting my 80-year-old dad in Florida, my phone began to ring, and there was members of Congress in Washington, D.C. that had called me, and they were very much concerned about the decision that Parker Griffin had made. They asked me if I would consider running for the 5th Congressional District. I told them that it would be an honor to serve the people of the 5th Congressional District, but I had made a commitment to the people of Alabama. The people of Alabama had been good to me. They have elected me 2 times as Commissioner of Agriculture, and that I was committed to the people of Alabama to run for governor of the state of Alabama. On that same day, I had an AP reporter to give me a call. The AP reporter said, "Have you talked to members of Congress?" And yes, I have. And they said, "Are you running for Congress?" And I said, "I am in the governor's race, and that is where I'm at." And I also told them that it was premature, that I had not had an opportunity to talk to my staff, that I was visiting my dad, that it was over the holidays, and that I hadn't had any opportunity to think about it in any way, form, or fashion. As I got back home, yesterday I sat down with my staff, and we are more committed now than ever to run for governor of the state of Alabama. And the reason that we are committed is because there are such strong differences between myself and my opponent, Artur Davis. You know, when Artur Davis had an opportunity to stand up for the people of Alabama or stand up for the big credit card companies, he chose the big credit card companies. When Artur Davis had an opportunity to vote for health care for the citizens of Alabama in his district, he voted against health care in Alabama. When Artur Davis wants to take funding out of the state funding to build private schools and charter schools, I said no. When I stood up and said that it's time to start taxing gambling in Alabama, Artur Davis said it's not a silver bullet. When I stood up and said that it's time to pass a lottery so that our children get an education, Artur Davis said again, you're on the wrong path. So I'm telling the people of Alabama today that I am very much committed in the governor's race, and that I plan on winning the governor's race, and we are going to stay in the governor's race, and we've never said we were out of the governor's race. So I am here today to tell the people of the 5th District it would be an honor, but I am going to Montgomery, Alabama, and I am going to continue to fight for the 5th District from Montgomery, as well as I would if I lived in North Alabama as governor of the state of Alabama. With that, I'll be glad to take any questions that you may have.
Was there ever a point when you talked to congressional members of Congress?
I did. Matter of fact, I talked to members of Congress as late as last night.
But was there ever a point where you stopped and thought seriously of running for Congress?
There was never a point. I told AP that I was in the governor's race, that I was visiting my dad in Florida, that I had no opportunity to talk to my staff, and there was really never a point. I have been committed to the governor's race for a long time, but every time that there's a congressional seat, every time there's a lieutenant governor, it seems that my opponent wants to put me in that race. There's a lot of folks that would love to see me get out of this governor's race. I'm in the governor's race to win. I'm in the governor's race to protect the people of Alabama. I'm in the governor's race because there are differences between me and my opponent, and I've never said that I wanted to get out of the governor's race, and I'm not.
According to your opponent, it seems like you're flip-flopping a little bit on where you want to run.
My opponent understands flip-flopping as much as anybody understands flip-flopping. He is the one that sent out the press release the day I made my announcement for governor. He is the one that sent out the press release and said I was running for lieutenant governor. They have tried from the very beginning to stop me from running for governor of the state of Alabama. I have been committed. I am still committed more than ever. We have shown time after time again that we have strong differences between the difference of our leadership and where we want to take Alabama. And I am in the governor's race, and I'm in the governor's race to win.
So what do you do now? Where do you go from here to show people that the governor's seat is what you want?
Where do I go from here? I'm going to Birmingham, Alabama, and give them the same message that I give North Alabama. I leave Birmingham, I'm headed to Montgomery, Alabama. We're going to continue to tell the people across Alabama we are in this governor's race, and we are not going to get out under no circumstances.
What are you doing to assure voters that to back you and to be confident in you?
This right here. You know, when you have reports to go out and you have blogs to go out that you're considered it and you're not considered it, then you have to come out and tell the people the truth. And this is what I'm doing today. A lot of my constituents are concerned. They don't have contact with me every day. When they hear these things, there's concern. And then I have to come out and tell the people of Alabama the truth. The truth is, I'm in the governor's race. I'm going to stay in the governor's race, and I'm going to win the governor's race.
Have you spoken with Parker Griffin since you decided?
I have not spoken with Parker Griffin. I have spoken with members of Congress from Washington, D.C. They are very much concerned of the action that Parker Griffin has taken. We've got to be concerned about the 5th District, the progress that the people have made in North Alabama, the hard work that local officials have put forth to make North Alabama grow. And now you have an individual to go from the majority party to the minority party, with the President of the United States being a Democrat. He knows more about politics than I do.
Why do you prefer to run for governor over the 5th District?
Because I've told the people of Alabama that they have been committed to me. I am committed to them. And I am committed to moving this state forward. I am committed to making tough decisions that will move Alabama forward. My plan has been laid on the table, and I will continue to talk about my plan when it comes to education. We're talking about laying school teachers off all across Alabama. We're talking about letting prisoners out of prison. Our road systems are in shambles. I have talked about solutions to those problems, and I am going to carry that message all across Alabama, and I believe the people of Alabama want somebody that will tell them the truth and start talking about public service rather than self-service.
How many members of Congress have you spoken to?
Well, I know I've talked to a couple of members of Congress, and I have told them that it was an honor that they would give me a call. And I talked to another member last night as I was traveling to Huntsville, and I told him again that I would be making an announcement today that I am in the governor's race, that I am not running for Congress, and that I wish them well, and that I hope they get a good candidate for North Alabama that will continue the progress that has been made here for the past few years.
So how many?
I have talked to a couple of different ones. I've had contacts from the DCCC. I've had a number of conversations, and it's pleasant conversations, and I've said all along to them that I'm in the governor's race. But, you know, it's an honor that they would consider me, and I appreciate their phone calls, and I've been polite, and I will continue to be polite, but I want to make it clear. You know, I just got back into Alabama this weekend from visiting my father. I only had an opportunity to sit down and visit with my staff yesterday. And as we talked about all the things that happened for the past few days, we are more committed now than ever to stay in this governor's race and win this governor's race for the people of Alabama.
Yesterday, your campaign manager was quoted saying something that seemed to indicate you were giving this serious thought to moving to the congressional race. Was that a misquote or a mistake?
Well, first of all, I haven't spoken to my campaign manager in about a week. He's on vacation, and he's not in my office, so I don't know what information he's been putting out. It hadn't been put out under my authority, so if he's put out something that has indicated that I'm considering running for governor, then I guess we need to talk to my campaign manager.
Do you have any idea what will happen with the 5th Congressional District or any predictions?
Well, I can tell you this, when I become the governor of Alabama, I'm sure that Washington will answer my phone calls quicker than they will Parker Griffin's.